Hello guys, welcome back to TFD. I am Corty. Let's go.
This is, without question, a terrible idea, and the timing could not be worse. Caitlin Clark enters the league and immediately ignites momentum the WNBA has never seen before. Attendance is exploding. Television ratings are surging. Gate revenue is up across the board. Teams are literally switching arenas just to accommodate the Caitlin Clark effect. This is real growth, real money, and real opportunity. And now, right in the middle of all this momentum, WNBA players, after being offered a salary increase of nearly 4 times, are preparing to strike. Even more concerning, this push is being led by individuals who are openly connected to a competing professional women's basketball league. That alone raises serious questions about priorities and conflicts of interest. From a business standpoint, this is reckless. You do not threaten a shutdown when the league is finally gaining mainstream attention, sponsors, and fans who are willing to pay premium prices to attend games. You capitalize. You negotiate from strength, not disruption. Fans are already reacting, and the response has been overwhelmingly negative. Many feel this risks undoing years of progress in a matter of weeks. We've also just learned more details about the vote itself, including how close it was. And frankly, I'd love to know exactly who voted for this decision and who didn't. This story is far from over.
Alexa Philippou with ESPN reports that the WNBA Executive Committee has been authorized to call a strike when necessary. Remember, this still had to be put to a so-called authorization vote to strike. The statement reads, quote, "The players have spoken through a decisive vote with historic participation. Our membership has authorized the WNBA Executive Committee to call a strike when necessary. The players' decision is an unavoidable response to the state of negotiations with the WNBA and its teams. Time and time again, the players' thoughtful and reasonable approach has been met by the WNBA and its teams with resistance to change and a recommitment to draconian provisions that have unfairly restricted players for nearly 2 decades." Good grief! Keep this in mind. The owners chose to keep this league operating while involuntarily losing money year after year. There's a lot of nerve in claiming draconian provisions when ownership has kept players employed despite losing millions upon millions of dollars, and these players act like that's not even a factor. The statement continues, "The players' vote is neither a call for an immediate strike nor an intention to pursue one. Rather, it is an emphatic affirmation of the players' confidence in their leadership and unwavering solidarity against ongoing efforts to divide, conquer, and undervalue them. Let it be known," they say, "the players remain united, resolute, and prepared to fight for their value and their future." This is a perfect way to push fans straight into the owner's corner, because fans aren't stupid. They understand this league has never consistently made money. Now you have the union saying 98% of players voted yes, which also means 2% voted no, and 93% even participated in the vote. Right there, that's the real story. Who are the players who didn't sign on to this? That matters. And the bigger question is simple. If this actually leads to a strike, do WNBA fans come back afterward? History says that's a dangerous gamble. After this, Alexa Philippou give new update, said WNBA statement. While we acknowledge the players' right to authorize a future work stoppage, we strongly disagree with the WNBPA's characterization of the current state of negotiations, which fundamentally misrepresents the ongoing discussions taking place at the bargaining table. New York, December 18, 2025.
The Women's National Basketball Association released the following statement today in response to the Women's National Basketball Players Association's strike authorization vote. We are aware that the players have voted to authorize the WNBPA Executive Committee to call a strike if the Executive Committee decides to take that step in the future. While we acknowledge the players' right to authorize a future work stoppage, we strongly disagree with the WNBPA's characterization of the current state of negotiations, which fundamentally misrepresents the ongoing discussions taking place at the bargaining table. It is difficult to understand claims that the league is resistant to change, particularly given that we are proposing numerous CBA modifications, including significant immediate salary increases and a new uncapped revenue sharing model that would ensure continued salary growth tied to revenue growth. The league remains steadfast in its commitment to reaching an agreement as soon as possible and delivering a 30th season for the players, fans, teams, and partners. We have negotiated in good faith and with urgency and remain focused on finalizing a new collective bargaining agreement that not only meaningfully enhances player pay, benefits, and experience, but also does so in a way that ensures the long-term growth of the game and the league's capacity to serve the next generation of WNBA players.
So, after Alexa Philippou's latest update, the picture's clear. Both sides are publicly digging in, but neither's walking away from the table. The WNBA is firmly pushing back on the players' narrative, emphasizing that meaningful proposals, immediate salary increases, and an uncapped revenue sharing model are already on the table. At the same time, the league is signaling urgency, repeatedly stressing its commitment to good faith negotiations and the goal of delivering a full 30th season. What happens next will define a pivotal moment in the WNBA history. If both sides can bridge the gap between public messaging and private negotiations, this could result in a landmark CBA that reshapes player compensation and the league's future. If not, the threat of a work stoppage becomes very real, and the consequences would be felt by players, fans, and the league as a whole. The clock is ticking, and all eyes are now on whether words at the bargaining table turn into a deal or into a showdown. Let's go on ESPN. As per source, the WNBA's latest proposal includes an uncapped revenue-sharing model that would raise maximum salaries above $1.3 million, up from $244,244 in 2025, and growing to nearly $2 million over the life of the deal. Average salaries to above $530,000, up from $120,000 in 2025, and growing to more than $770,000 over the life of the deal, and minimum salaries to an excess of over $250,000 in year one alone, up from $66,079 in 2025. If these numbers hold, this proposal would represent a seismic shift in WNBA history, moving from six-figure ceilings to million-dollar maximum salaries, alongside massive jumps in average and minimum pay, signals that the league is finally tying player compensation directly to its growth and revenue potential. This is not just an incremental raise, it is a structural overhaul that could redefine what it means to be a professional WNBA player. Now, the focus shifts to whether this unprecedented financial framework is enough to close the gap between the league and the players. The opportunity is there for a truly transformative CBA, one that rewards today's stars, protects the next generation, and sets the league up for sustainable, long-term growth. The question is no longer whether change is coming, but whether both sides can agree on how far and how fast to go. At the end of the day, this situation falls squarely on the WNBA owners actually getting a deal done for the players.
But based on what we're seeing right now, I'm going to be honest. I don't think the players are being fully truthful about what's happening. I just don't. There's no way you look at the league's response and still pretend nothing meaningful is being offered. That statement alone tells you almost everything you need to know. And let's be real, this is not a good look for the players at all, not even close. If anything, it makes the situation feel even more unstable because now we're clearly heading toward a potential lockout. The entire 2026 season is suddenly up in the air, and that should concern everyone who actually cares about the growth of the league. What makes this even worse is the timing. The face of the league, Caitlin Clark, is healthy and fine on the court, but fan engagement across the board is slipping. Interest, momentum, excitement, it's not trending in the right direction right now, and if this drags on, it's only going to hurt the league more. But I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me how you see this playing out.